Hey guys, welcome back to some more AFK Arena. Today we're over on the YouTube account, and thank you very much for joining me for the Saturday night live stream. So unfortunately, we're not going to be able to do the live stream tomorrow, guys. It is my daughter's 9th birthday, so she is definitely growing up. So it is going to be the birthday party during the live stream time at that point. So we're in 47-3, guys. Just wanted to chill, play some AFK Arena, answer any questions. I love doing the Q&A sessions that we do. A lot of questions out there for AFK Arena. So not sure if you have any out there. We're going to go through the Misty Valley. We're going to do some summons, guys. I am also trying to get the copy of Awakened Belinda that we need. With the current deluxe card and the one we get out of the shop, we get 2 of our time emblems every single day, guys. And I'm hoping also out of the event we have going on right now that we can pull 1 or 2 more time emblems, which would be awesome to see out of there, so we can continue doing that, building that hero out. So we got Milton, Andre, and Crave is here as well. What is going on, Crave? All right, guys, so we're going to hop right into the Misty Valley again. This is one of the absolute game modes, guys, that just rewards you and absolutely showers you with loot. I love all loot out of here, getting all of these Poke Coins, guys. We have to still get the furniture for Belinda. So once we do get our build out, we do have to get that furniture out of here, which is the reason, again, why I wanted to push this and push it pretty early, just because I'm hoping, again, fingers crossed, that we actually have the ability and we're going to be able to pull the copies that we need of the Awakened version of Belinda. What's going on, Toxic? And happy birthday. Yeah, definitely happy birthday to her, guys. Again, it's kind of crazy that I'm going to have a 9-year-old, which is incredible. Having kids is definitely a life changer for sure. We got Maulers in this one. So again, guys, you got any questions, throw them in chat. We'll go through. This part is easy. It's pretty simple going through here in the Misty Valley. Hope you're good and everything's good. Missy in the streams. You too, Toxic. There's a lot of players that join a lot of the streams, which again, I love all of the love and support for the channel. But it is awesome to see when players come back. Took a break on the game, and I don't know when I'm going to be back. Took a little break. So overall, guys, with AFK Arena, Crave, a lot of players do come back to AFK Arena. In addition, a lot of players just really find the happy place, I guess, with AFK Arena. So I know a lot of players that are only running like one account, log in for 10 or 15 minutes on a daily basis. And that's, I've been trying to limit some of the gameplay and the time that I'm spending in AFK Arena, just because it's kind of crazy. Now, kill 2 backline enemies first. This one is always kind of a pain. And I know there's been a couple players that have actually talked about this over on Reddit, that it is, again, just kind of a pain in the butt to kill the backline enemies first. But I'm going to copy a formation in here. You can see I have my treasure scramble ice formations, fire formations, and then of course we have this random formation I'm hoping is going to pull this down. What's going on, Lux? Thank you for joining us. Is this game worth playing free to play? Absolutely. The big thing with AFK Arena, guys, is I've played a lot of different games. I know Dark Blaine, a lot of other players can really say the exact same. You know, there has been a lot of games that I have played. AFK Arena is probably one of the absolute, hands down, most free-to-play friendly game that I have played. And again, I've played a ton, an absolute ton of games in here. And absolutely, guys, AFK Arena, we have players that are in chapter 46 already. Javid is in 46 already. Completely free to play. Now, again, are you going to be in... Are you going to be really in the top 1% as a free-to-play player? No, not really. Are you going to be, can you be in the top 10% and under as a free-to-play player? Absolutely. You can have no issue at all with being a free-to-play player. This game, again, is super friendly. And I also like there's not a lot that you're going to, I guess, really miss out on as a free-to-play player. Again, it takes longer, and that's really what you're changing. Kind of the trade-off when you look at these type of games. Really, the 2 big things with the trade-off is you're trading either time for money. That's really one of the biggest things. Is the way to kind of accelerate the time function in this game is to put money in there. That is really the big thing. The other thing with this game, guys, is really prioritizing the heroes that you build. I cannot stress that enough. If you're a free-to-play player, if you're not a free-to-play player, any player in this game, guys, if you prioritize the heroes correctly, it makes it incredibly easy because the Cursed Realm and the Treasure Scramble use a majority of the same heroes. And I know a lot of free-to-play players that do incredibly well in both game modes, even staying in the top 5% a majority of the time with both of them, being completely free to play. I'm focusing on faction 1 by 1 for towers. I already have most of the meta heroes in AFK Arena. I'm wondering if I am wrong or not. No, Deadly, that's a good way to do it. So the way you kind of want to break it down, Deadly, is you want to kind of cross-check the heroes, I guess. So what I mean by that is it's a way to make sure, and I think we needed Granite and Skarath in this, see what tower heroes are being utilized in different areas. So when you look at the Lightbearer Tower and you look at, you know, a couple heroes within the Lightbearer Tower, when you look at Palmer, when you look at Rowan, see where they're being used in the Lightbearer Tower, then see if they're being used in the Treasure Scramble, then also see if they're being used within the Cursed Realm or the Twisted Realm. That is really the best way to do it. There are a lot of heroes in AFK Arena, guys, that there's zero reason to build anymore. That there is literally not a reason whatsoever to build a lot of the older heroes anymore because they provide almost no value whatsoever. Again, just because of the make of the heroes. And with them being older heroes, again, there's minimal to no reason to really build them. I'm on one Palmer copy from one start. Yes, Lux, I have Palmer at the E30, and honestly, when it comes to buffing, when it comes to overall damage, Palmer is probably one of the biggest impact heroes that we've seen as of recently with AFK Arena. It is kind of crazy how strong Palmer is. If you've utilized him in formations, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Palmer is one that I built very, very strong, very early, which is exactly what you have to do. He is very, very much worth it. What's going on, Alfredus? Best team for the Awakened Brutus. So the Awakened version of Brutus has really been running with Dimensionals. So if you've noticed, and let's see, I think this is the Maulers here. So the Awakened version of Brutus, players have been running Brutus with the combination of Joan of Arc and Merlin, Albedo, and Ezio. This has been the formation that we have been seeing an incredible amount for the Awakened version of Brutus. Of course, Albedo is going to provide all the buffs. Brutus will get targets low. Ezio will finish them. You're getting damage mitigation and you're getting buffs from both Joan and also from Merlin, making it a very, very strong team to deal with, guys. It is super, super strong with that formation. Brutus, he's run that way in the Treasure Scramble. A lot of times he's run with Honesta when it comes to the Cursed Realm, used in both of them. So you mean that I have to build a hero good for towers? Yes. So it's the same. Yes, exactly, Deadly. It is the same. The same heroes are crossing over to a bunch of different AFK Arena, which is the best way. Is Entendre worth building? So I use Entendre way more than I use Salakai. Salakai, short of the towers, guys, I am seeing him in almost zero places, unfortunately. Now, when it comes to Entendre, of course, is still in a couple formations. We've seen her in the Grand Hunt. She's really been prevalent. We've seen her in a couple of the Cursed Realm formations, especially in the tower. And also, she is a monster when it comes to running the warriors within the Temple Rift. She is really, really strong in there. She's hard to kill. She is very hard to kill, but you do have to build out Entendre. She does require that plus 60 engraving, which gives her pretty much like Isolde. If she scales, you're not going to kill her. You're not going to kill her at all if she scales. And even for me, guys, I built her out further because of that Treasure Scramble. So I actually took her to the plus 68, which again is the whale build. We took her up higher again to focus on the damage aspect that she's bringing within the game. So I think we needed Mishka, and I think we needed our little jungle roamer up there, Tamaris, which of course is a guy. I just started a week and I thought, hold pulling more with Ascension. I'll have to get the Awakened Heroes and progress through the chapters for. Yeah, I know if you just started a week ago, big thing is getting Daemon. Focus literally everything into Daemon. Daemon will carry you through AFK Arena. Daemon will even carry you like the first 30 chapters of AFK Arena. And the map's not pulling for some reason. I thought maybe it was lagging there, but it looked like the map was almost stuck. All right, so we got Graveborn. Yes, again, on Tundra, I would build before Salakai. I want Mo Rice. I like that. Could you do a short on Rain and on Tundra? Yes, I will do one on Tundra and Rain. I actually have a list of the heroes that I'm doing. And who would I first? E30 first, Kanisa and Rook, or Mulan? Honestly, out of those, I would probably go Mulan. The reason is Kanisa and Rook need the furniture. That is really one of the absolute huge things, guys. Kanisa and Rook has to have that 9 of 9 furniture. That is the game changer when it comes to Kanisa and Rook, is building out that furniture. Is Mulan's E30 worth it? Yes, absolutely. Mulan, absolutely. He's that good. Yeah, if you're talking about Daemon, so win without a warrior or a tank. Daemon is a hero that gets stronger as the enemy gets stronger. I know that's really the big thing. So Daemon is even being used now that I'm in chapter 47. Just came from 46. Daemon is still being used in the Cursed Realm comps. Daemon is being used in the Tower. Daemon is being used in the campaign. Daemon still has an incredible amount of uses, guys, which most heroes don't have that high of a utility. But Daemon still has a place in a ton of formations and works incredibly well within those formations. What team is good for Daemon? So Daemon, the thing with Daemon is similar to other heroes. You have to build out Daemon. You have to let him scale. So you have to let Daemon scale. So anyone who is really going to do one of two things, Samvat, is either support that is going to allow Daemon to scale faster. What I mean by that is when you look at a hero like Lyca, when you look at a hero like Zolrath, if you look at a hero like Rowan, that can give him an energy potion, anyone that's going to allow him to scale faster. Or on the flip side, anyone who is going to provide crowd control for Daemon to allow him, again, to scale up and get that blood shield up. A lot of players run Nara in there, run Pharrell in there, run Grez in there. We see Thorin, we see Edwin as of now. Any hero that is going to buy Daemon time, that is all you're looking to do. I built Titus 30930, literally dies. Yes. So a while ago, Deadly, Titus was the only hero within the Mauler faction that had crowd control. So that was really the big part of Titus. Was he was the only hero, again, that had Titus that had crowd control. So he had a really strong spot once upon a time, just because of the Tower and just because he was the only hero with crowd control. As of now, guys, Titus, I don't even use him for the Tower. I don't think anymore. And sad to admit, I've actually used Alero a lot more than I've used Titus, which kind of sucks. Even in an evade team, it doesn't really work. Titus dies out literally in usually a hit, and it's pretty sad. But like I said, I have been using Alero quite a bit, and he works well in the Tower, which is where we knew he was going to. What are my thoughts on Edwin? So guys, Edwin is going to have a place, and he is going to have a place in the Cursed Realm. I'm thinking that is going to be absolutely for sure, because he really does one big thing, is the damage amplification, but he also does the defense reduction. So both of those lucks, you're going to see both of those, which again work incredibly well within boss modes. He's going to make his way into boss modes without a doubt. Again, just because of his build, he's already made his way, I believe, into a couple of the Cursed Realm comps. The one that we're currently running, I believe they're running him in there with Brutus. I think it might have been Brutus. But let's go ahead, guys, collect all of this up. Then we'll get into our summons. Yes, Absolutely, Crave. I am on board 100% with that, guys. I hope the awakened version of Shamira comes. That would be phenomenal, guys. That is a hero that I would absolutely build out, bar none, before anyone else. Absolutely cool. Hopefully we'll get a couple copies of Edwin. So let's go ahead. We'll pop these open. I'm going to do my desired hero summons, which are resetting in 2 days. So we want to pull all of our desired hero summons. And I'm going to finish out Tamara's. So we have Tamara's built in there. But looking here, guys, we have 9 elite stones. Looking for those celestials or hypogens, which we get. Let's see, we got Damon, we got Peanut, all of them. Looks like it is just all food. All of those copies, guys, just going right to the fodder. But again, we're going to hop in here. We're going to do the summons out of here. I did pick up another copy of the Challenger store for Orthos. So Orthos is actually going up to 3 stars at this point, guys. I have Orthos and I have Aziz, the original version of Aziz. And everything is built in the Challenger store, which is going to allow me to go in there and actually start getting more chests out of there. I'll start gathering copies of him then and wait to add SI and engraving. Yeah, and again, it seems like Edwin is going to be a pretty decent investment, but I think he's going to really have a place. Again, he does the damage amplification, which is huge, and then he also has the defense reduction, which again is really, really huge. Who's E60 would you say is more important, Mulan or Yennefer? Out of those two, that's a pretty tough question. Big thing is, I mean, when you look at different game modes, looking in here, control or limited effects for the PvP aspect in here, this is going to work incredibly well with Mulan, but kind of the same with Yennefer. I don't like this. And the reason I would go with Mulan, Jan, is because if you look here, every 6 seconds, the barrier lasted deals 300 attack rating to all enemies within it. That is right, guys. This is situational, which I don't like. Is Yennefer worth investing in? Yes. The 309.30 for Yennefer, this is the game changer when it comes to Yennefer, when it comes to investing in Yennefer. We're seeing her within the Cursed Realm. We are also seeing her within the Treasure Scramble. She is being run in the Dimensional team, working incredibly well, guys. But this is what really amplifies her damage. She does have crowd control as well. But again, I don't like the 60 on the magical barrier because it is situational. Now again, Mulan is also being run in the Treasure Scramble teams currently. But looking here, guys, this is going to get rid of the control effects, which is awesome. So when somebody gets crowd controlled, she's going to trigger this follow-up attack. Both of them would be pretty good, which again, depending on the team you're fighting, Yennefer could work really well. And again, Yennefer could have no purpose. Her E60 essentially just for stats wouldn't really have a purpose, where Mulan is going to do damage if you're getting crowd control off, or if somebody is hitting you with crowd control, you're going to get that crowd control off. So I mean, I would say Mulan out of those two, again, just because I'm not a big fan of abilities that are situational. So again, if you go on the enemy side, nobody comes over to the side with Yennefer. Yennefer's not going to do anything. And remember, Yennefer pushes the heroes back. Yennefer tries to put them back through the whole entire thing. First time here, pretty new player, but got lucky and got Awakened Belinda. Should I summon her in the Temple of Time, or should I go for another? Alex, the first one you want to build that has the biggest impact within AFK Arena. Now, Belinda is going to help a ton, but you want the Awakened version of Solus. Solus, guys, there is not a game mode within AFK Arena that Solus is not being utilized in, period. When you look at the Twisted Realm, the Cursed Realm, when you look at PvP, when you look at the campaign, when you look at the Temporal Rift, when you look at the Grand Hunt, there is not one single game mode, even when it comes to multiple teams, that the Awakened version of Solus is not in, period. She is literally everywhere, Alex. Belinda requires a pretty high build, but again, Belinda has places that she's utilized, but I would go with Solus just because Solus is going to carry you so much further as a support hero. Absolutely, I would build her out. What's going on, Jordan? Currently chapter 41 and trying to get more creative with the campaign boss battles. My yen is currently 201. Yeah, like I said, AFK, Yennefer will also be utilized within a couple other places. Used in the Cursed Realm, used in the Treasure Scramble. So it would be, it would really work. And what team would it be? Any of them, Alex. Which is insane. Running the Awakened version of Solus with Damon, running with literally anyone. She is going to provide healing. She is going to provide a lot of support. She is going to provide a lot of buffs when you build her up. Literally any team, especially being a new player to AFK Arena, any team she will run with. I love running her with Damon. That is how I ran her earlier when we did our power level account. Worked incredibly well. All right, guys, so Tamara's, we're going to get 2 more copies out of here. I have 38,000 diamonds. This is resetting in 2 days. I'm saving all the rest of these diamonds, guys, for Edwin. So I want to do my summons first because I want to see if by chance we're going to get a copy of Tamara's out of there, which means essentially we could swap because we need 2 more copies to get Tamara's to 1 star. So we want to do the summons in here. Fingers crossed, guys, if we get an Awakened hero in here, it would be just absolutely crazy streamer luck. And we usually have some really, really good luck on these accounts, guys. There's a copy of Torn, which again is food. Appreciate your help. Hope you enjoy your evening. Oh, you too, AFK. If you got questions, guys, drop them in Discord. There are so many players over in Discord that answer questions literally faster than I could type answers to them. But it's a huge, huge wealth of knowledge over there with the player base. There is a copy of Thorn. Again, all of these copies are just going to be essentially fodder, which I'm okay with because we recycle a lot of heroes here. But again, I'd love to get a copy of Tamara so we could actually save, which I'll take a copy of Orin. Orin, we are still building out as well. 79 scrolls, so we have 7 total summons here. Which again, maybe, fingers crossed, an Awakened hero. And I want it to be an Awakened version of Belinda. Would be just absolutely crazy. Which there's a copy of Oku. I think Oku is already built out as well. I think we did get him the 5 stars. And a double right there, guys. Which is Fane and Arden. Still hoping for this Tamara's copy. 1 more elite there, which is Thorin again. And another elite, guys, which is Alero. Very cool. I'm still waiting for my Awakened on the heart summons. Yeah, Andre, it's been a long, long time since I've seen that. Since I've seen the Awakened heroes with those summons. All right, guys, so we didn't get a copy, but we have 2 cards here. Again, utilizing some of these diamonds, we're going to pull these last 2 copies. And there it is, guys. That is the luck that we needed. That means we'll have 35,000 diamonds to save. So we're going to swap this over just so I don't forget, guys. Next week, when we do our live stream, we'll be able to get 7 copies of Edwin, which of course we know we only need 8 to get him up to that the ascended version, which that'll give us, of course, 1 copy there to build out. I have 222 Stargazer cards. Haven't bought any of them, guys. We have been farming these up, and we know the events that have been going on. And then, of course, the Temple of Time, guys. I'm at plus 31 cards. So we have used 31 cards so far to get Belinda. Have not had the copy of them, but I want to hop over and see if the Magician's Hat is going to give us any cards. So out of this probability, we are looking for the time emblems. This is the biggest thing we're looking for to finish and continue building out the Awakened version of Belinda. So I'm hoping it is going to be. Is VIP 13 worth it? I feel like I've asked you. Yes, I mean, if you're going up in VIP level, you're going to get a lot more rewards out of it. In addition, I believe when it comes to the chests, so when it comes to the deluxe monthly chest, I believe VIP 13, Jordan, is where you do get a little bit more resources out of it. I think that's where you get the extra chests out of there, is VIP 13, if I'm not wrong. Do you think the normal version of them will work in the tower, fully maxed out? The normal, are you talking like the normal version of Solus? Let me know, Deadly. I've gotten 6 time cards from the Magician's Hat. Jack, I hope, again, I hope my luck is there for these pulls, guys. We need a couple copies of those cards. First one gives us a little bit of bait, but no cards out of there. Pull number 2, Stargazer cards, but still no time emblems. Come on, we got what, 2 more pulls? all just more resources. One more. I want to get at least 2 more cards out of here, which it gives us poke coins, poke coins, poke coins. No cards. This is what a lot of players have been saying, guys, is I know the probability of cards are really low, but people have said that last time they did this whole Magician's Hat, that they didn't pull any Thane. So the regular version of Thane, Deadly, works very well, but he requires a very high investment, which I do not recommend at this point in AFK Arena at all. Thane will work, again, the original version of Thane will work, but you do have to build him out quite a bit to get him to work, which again, I do not recommend. And what's going on? Lazarus is here as well. Thank you guys for joining us. All right. So we didn't get lucky with the summons in there, guys. But again, it looks like we have a lot more food. That is going to add some more to our wilders. Still building up Orin a little bit. Takes him to 4 stars right there. And Tamris, of course, while we're not engraving Tamris right now, we are still going to kind of wait for this one because we're waiting for that awakened version of Belinda. But Tamris, of course, is a hero that does have to be engraved, guys. We're literally going down so many heroes just down the list that require engraving. It's kind of crazy how many heroes do require the engraving now. Imagine getting what you, imagine getting what you actually want. That is a very, very novel idea when it comes to AFK Arena. But I believe Tamris is going to give us some more loot out of here. There we go, guys. 2 furniture summons out of there just for building out Tamris. Absolutely love it. Guys, I'm going to add my 2 more cards in here. And again, we're going to use these every time. Absolutely. We're going to use these cards every single week. Fingers crossed, guys. Could it be a copy of Belinda? We just need 1 at this point, which it is not, but that adds to my 31 goes to 33. So 33 summons, and that is 0 copies of Belinda, which again, we're just kind of breaking it down little by little, and we picked up 1 more scroll, which just gives us some more loot. But could it be Edwin, since we already have Tamris built up a little bit? It is Kayleen, which again, I'll take Kayleen. I think we might have Kayleen maxed out as well, though. A lot of these heroes, guys, we do have built. And again, I just go through, I recycle all of the heroes that we have on here. To recycle heroes, and I get this a lot of times, you have to have 60 awakened heroes to recycle other heroes, and that is excluding, that does exclude your dimensionals. That is kind of the caveat to that one. So we'll go over, we'll do some furniture summons. I want to use all my food, and I just continue, again, right down the road, guys. 1, 2, 3, we don't have enough to recycle in there. We have 1, 2, 3, but we do have 3 of these. I'm going to grab 2 copies. Again, not much you can really do with them, but we're going to recycle. And I want to say the Rickety card is already maxed out yet. For my retirement of heroes, 1, 2. We always save 2 legendary heroes in here. Again, just as my fodder hero, my food. And we'll go ahead and retire those 2. Boom, there we go. Store, again, is completely bought out at this point. Might even be worth it to reset this thing. Now, I don't recommend this, guys, but I'm thinking with where we're at right now, we could reset this and buy this whole entire top row out again, and then probably even pick up some more within the next 2 weeks. I'm going to spend my 1,000 diamonds, guys. And again, I don't recommend doing this unless, of course, you're at a point where you're getting a lot of resources out of here, guys. Get our Twisted Essence. I'll probably be able to build at least 1 or 2 out of here within the next 2 weeks. And then I want it to naturally reset. I do this about every 3 or 4 months to do the reset in here again to buy all of this out. At this point of the game, I'm shoving how many Ascension Elite into fodder to recycle them. Yeah, exactly, Lazarus. I wouldn't buy the purple. The big thing, Alfred Us, is the reason I buy the purple stones is because if I get 1 copy of a Celestial or Hypogen that I need, I know going through and recycling these. But the way that I look at it is the old baseball analogy. Every time you go up to bat, so every time you get those purple stones is an opportunity to get another Celestial or Hypogen hero. And we've had a lot of luck with them, actually. We've had some pretty solid luck. And even looking at my tree, I power leveled the tree for a while. I'll show you what my tree looks like in just a minute. But looking at our stones again, the probability or the at-bat percentage to get 4 more pulls here, boom, gives us garbage, but it could have been the Celestials and Hypogeans. I only have 4 star heroes left to ascend. Imagine, yeah, exactly. So my wish list slots are empty, guys. And we've talked about this before. So looking here, even what we need 1 Lightbearer heroes, a couple Maulers, a couple Wilders, stars, and then of course we have Edwin down here. The rest of them, I just literally roll random for food, which is what happens if you go in there and you literally just leave it empty. Well, considering you'll probably get 1 or 2 rare heroes with 1,000 diamonds on the tavern. Yeah, exactly. First time in live stream, I got 4 heroes up to 180, and sadly, Shamira 220 level 2 stars. How exactly should I summon my wish list be different from my early game wish list? I'll direct. If you go to my guide section, there's actually a couple in there for the wish list to set up. There are core specific heroes that you do want to set up in the wish list. Depending who you already have built, but you want to focus on Damon. We've said this before. When it comes to Damon specifically, you want to make sure that you have Damon, and you want to make sure that he builds out Damon. You'll get to a point where even if you swap Shamira for Damon, when you get to the swap scroll, I think it's like chapter 18 for the swap scroll, swapping Shamira for Damon is actually not a bad choice, considering Shamira has 0 utility in AFK Arena. Once you get a little bit further, guys, Shamira isn't used for anything, unfortunately. Might be a good swap, or a lot of players are actually swapping like a Shamira or a Scarlet, which again, Scarlet is still a really big priority hero. Could definitely do a couple different swaps in there when it comes to those specific heroes, and doing and utilizing kind of that swap scroll in there. Stargazer cards. So my Stargazer cards, I went kind of back and forth. 224 right now. I was going to build Olgath. That is what we were saving for before Pluto. Since he's not really a big priority and we're not really seeing him in any of those, I'm just saving to see kind of what is coming next. If Olgath starts getting a really high priority in a bunch of different game modes, I might consider building him out. But again, as of right now, I don't see the reason, I don't see the logic to put a lot of time and resources into building them out. I really don't right now. So I'm going to save them and see, because the majority of the key ones of Vitheo, Kinesa, and Rook, a lot of the ones that we have right now, we already do have built out. Namora useless. So the only thing that Namora is used for is the 9 of 9 furniture Beguile. And she is only used within right here. She uses this Beguile ability. She is only used as kind of a cheese factor with the 9 of 9 furniture. You literally don't need anything on her but the 9 of 9. Enemies enter the battlefield. She charms them, making them attack themselves, which again is really the only reason. Yeah, Namora. And again, some of the campaign stages, if you're not running that 9 of 9 furniture Namora, you're gonna have some difficulties with the heroes in there. Mainly it is with Satrana. She is very, very tough, which is the reason why people cheese it with the Namora, because they can actually beguile her and she will attack the only ones. But again, yeah, that's literally the only place that I know she is being used, Jack, is that one specific team comp. And usually it is against Satrana, because she's just an absolute pain. Yeah, same out for Dust. I still have my swap scroll. You guys can see it chilling right here. I've gotten to the point again that we're not going to be using it. Let's look at the tree and then I'll do the summons. So the tree right now, guys, maxed out. And then both the substance and the fortitude trees, I'm just building them kind of one by one. So getting some more stats here. And again, we could power level this a little bit more just to get more stats. All of the secondary stats, all of the abilities are just going up slowly, but the 3 core damage dealing branches, I have them completely maxed out, and we've had them maxed out, and that was because we did power level a lot of the tree, utilizing the Noble Society. So actually buying the pack out of there to get that Noble Society. Now looking here, Belinda we have at 2 furniture. We have nobody else built right now. Tamaris needs furniture. Kanisa and Rook need furniture. Mulan, all of these heroes need furniture, guys. It is really, really need a lot of furniture. We don't even have anyone close to the 8 of 8. So let's see if we can get closer with these guys. Yeah, the tree, again, we built out a lot, guys. We power leveled it, I believe, for 2 or 3 cycles within the Noble Society. There's another copy for Mulan. I think that takes her to 6. Maybe we can get some heroes up to that 9 of 9 furniture. I want to see Belinda. There is Salakai. I want to see at least 1 or 2 more for Belinda. Getting her to that 3 of 9 furniture. Essentially taking her to that 9 of 9 furniture. Which another copy for Yennefer. And again, Yennefer within the Treasure Scramble, guys, building out the furniture a little bit more. I'm going to provide her a lot more stats in there. Orin, of course, Wilder Tower, hugely successful. Okay, thanks. I have the swap scroll. Yeah. And again, Namora, really just used in one place. There is Belinda, guys. Our final piece gives us Belinda. We have 1 card on the table. I'm going to wait to see who we do get up to that 8 of 8 for that 1 card. And I always forget that we have the smart selection in this part now, so we can actually utilize it. I keep going out of it. I have to get used to it being in here. Recycling everything we're not using, which gives us 1 more pull. Nope, just going to be some more random furniture in there, but I think we're close. No, it gives us a 2nd card. 2 cards on the table, so let's go ahead. We'll optimize, and then we'll recycle 1 more time. We'll save the rest of the Poke Coins. But looking at our wish list now, guys, again, got Mulan, another piece of furniture. Got more for Yennefer, more for Orin. Got that 3rd, so 3 of 9 for Belinda. Just going to have to build up a couple more cards there. Looks good. It is getting there. 107 should be the priority for all trees. I went back and forth. I've actually redone some of these. I've redone the tree a couple times. I got to the point where I really wasn't too concerned with it, Alfred Us. That's the reason why I kind of left it. The last time that I respec'd it was when we were going through the Grand Hunt. So that was kind of one of the reasons. So I spec'd it back and I just didn't allocate how they were, which, I mean, another week or 2, they'll be up there. They'll be the best way to progress on the tree is getting them all to 25. So getting them, depending where you're built, getting them to 25. And there are a lot of breakpoints through the Elder Tree where you get the secondary stats. And that's one of the big things, like the crit rate there, getting the haste in here, getting the haste in here, also getting the accuracy and dodge out of here. There's a couple different breakpoints. Again, in the guide section of the YouTube channel, we do have some guides in there. And I have a breakdown of the Elder Tree that's actually not too old. Who are your top tier worst enemies in the campaign? Yes, V Firework Sword. Absolutely 3 worst enemies in the campaign. Number 1 being Flora. Flora is a lot easier to deal with as of now, guys. Flora used to be just an absolute nightmare. I believe it was chapter 39. I think it might have been chapter 39, but there was a Flora stage. I think it was right towards the end of maybe 38 or maybe right towards the end of 39. But there was a stage that literally hundreds of players were stuck in the campaign stage because of Flora. When she first came out, everyone thought, oh, she was really cool. Then they fought her in the campaign, and it was a literal brick wall that you could not get past Flora, which again was just an absolute nightmare. Other one that I hate with a passion is Zolrath. Every time you fight Zolrath, even if you fight with the Thorn Cheese, you have to do the multiple battles. Even when it comes to the Dismal Maze, I hate fighting Zolrath because you have to fight him more than once, which again is just an absolute pain in the butt when you're fighting with Zolrath. I hate fighting Zolrath, guys. Just a nightmare. Other heroes, most of the other ones are pretty easy to deal with for the most part. PvP wise, I don't like fighting Merlin. Merlin, just because of the big damage mitigation, he is tough to kill. Very, very difficult to deal with in the PvP aspect in there, which is again, just kind of my own caveat when it comes to like treasure scramble. He's hard to kill in formations. I want to build Oku because he looks cool. Is he viable anywhere? The tower. That is it, guys. So when you do look in the tower, we thought Oku was going to do well. We thought there were going to be some formations, which even looking here, guys, we have Tamara's in here. I'm not even sure even a lot of these formations are not even running Oku. Even looking at the couple different formations, even looking at Noob's formations, there is no Oku. I run him in here every now and then, but again, not a huge push for the hero. Some formations he's run in, some formations he has not run in at all. Like the build, like how he looks. But again, looking at a lot of these fights, guys, Oku is not present, even looking through a couple different floors. If you don't build him, it's not going to be a big miss. What hero does the best counter to Falks? If you're dealing with Falks, there's a really easy hero, guys. And if you're earlier game, Nara. Guys, Nara will take Falks right out of wherever he's at and just start annihilating him. The hook will actually go on any hero. You can crowd control him a little bit. Athalia will work. Falks will work. Even looking here, the awakened version of Aziz will work because you'll instantly get crowd control out of there. It's really cool that you can counter them. What are some of the basics to be self-sufficient in formations? Self-sufficient is really the ability to mitigate damage and heal. So when you look at our biggest kind of self-sufficient carry heroes in AFK Arena, number one being, of course, Damon. Damon has a shield. Damon has a heal. Works very well solo. Then, of course, the other solo queen, which is Lucretia. Lucretia has the ability to kill out heroes so fast, and she has a life leech factor, which again, the ability to do damage, mitigate damage with a shielding factor, and also the ability to heal and stay alive. It is really the big part of AFK Arena. Other than that, there's not a ton of heroes that bring a lot of self-efficiency. It's either going to be support, which is going to keep the heroes alive, or it is going to be the crowd control aspect. That's really the big part of it, guys, is you're either going to have a hero that is going to do a lot of damage like a Vathiel, but the more support you put him, like a hero like Halos, the more support, the more shielding, the more is going to make the formation. And it does make the formation, guys. When it comes to the King's Tower, I have been stuck in these stages. If you guys remember, even a week or two ago, I have been slowly making 1 or 2 stage progressions in here. That is it, guys. I grind this thing out every day, which is the reason why we do have so many Stargazer cards. I grind the King's Tower like absolute craziness every day. Every day is we are grinding that tower. Random useless info, I love it. You need 2 stars in E60 on tier 4 gear Taylene with artifact to get her a higher combat rating than a 5-star Silas with you. Yeah, so what I did is when you look at my Taylene, so to get Taylene to work with Orthos, Taylene has to be the highest power. I went a plus 37 on the signature item. Still got a 60 engraving, which I'm definitely debating going a little bit higher. But as the power creep kept increasing, Shadow, I kept building out Taylene a little bit more. And then I built the signature item out a little bit more. And then I went back and I actually added more stars to Taylene. And I've also considered using some of those Stargazer cards to just finish out Taylene for those last, I think, 4 copies at this point, or 3 copies, because I have one right here. I have incrementally increased Taylene to get her stronger. The other thing that a lot of players do, Shadow, is specifically with those formations with Silas, is they'll take off gear. That is really the big thing, is a lot of players will take off gear or will remove furniture. So when you look, if you have a hero in a formation, let's say Silas was the example given, you can actually go to the inn and just remove some of the gear. to make it essentially work the way that you want to. A lot of players have also found that exact same issue with Halos. If you're building out Halos, guys, and that's why I haven't built them out any further, Halos will do the exact same effect. The combat rating, because of the power creep, will go far higher than Tailene. So a lot of players, again, go in there and remove gear or alter gear to make it work. Is it better to stack up Scam Gazer cards or instantly use? So we've been talking about that, Patrick, about saving cards. Ultimately, Lilith has said there is no difference. The big thing, though, is if you're saving cards, so just like you're seeing right here, guys, if you're saving your Stargazer cards, the chances are you're hindering your progression because you're not utilizing those cards to make progression, to get extra copies, to get extra loot out of here. You're hindering your progression by stacking the cards. Again, Lilith has said kind of time and time again, when you look at probabilities, 2% is 2%, period. If you do one, every single pull is independently for that 2%, based on the probabilities. So they said if you do a 1 pull, if you do a 10 pull, it is the exact same viability within there, between those. Joan or Navy to 60, Navy. The big thing with Navy, guys, Navy, the plus 60 engraving in Navy, if you look right here, guys, this is the allied summons. So this crosses the awakened version of Solus. This buffs the awakened version of Baden. This buffs Grez. A lot of the summoning heroes within the AFK arena will benefit huge from having Navy's E60. Joan, the only reason that players are building the E60 on Joan is PvP. This stun is what players are building her for, the PvP aspect. Campaign, it doesn't really make a big difference because you can just keep retrying. But this is a game changer when it comes to PvP formations, versus building out Navy. Again, Navy's E60 is huge because of the ability to buff. A lot of times Navy is run with Solus. Navy is even run with Baden. Again, like I said, Navy is run with Grez in a lot of different formations, or even a combination, Navy, Solus, and Baden in a formation, Navy, Solus, and Grez in a formation. She will benefit all of them. You want to build them out. If you could buff any champion, who would it be and how would you buff them? Dragon Dog, I would love to see, and again, we're still fingers crossed, if we get the awakened version of Chimera, guys. Now, if you're an older AFK arena player like I am, we're going on 4 years at this point. Chimera was the carry. Chimera was literally everything for AFK arena for a significant amount of time, guys. She was the hero you got early. She was the hero that dominated PvP. Every single game mode, it was Chimera was the go-to. Chimera was the carry. I really feel like they did her wrong doing the awakened version of Baden versus doing that awakened version of Chimera. I would have absolutely loved to see Chimera, as well as a lot of players who have been playing AFK Arena for a significant amount of time, but they went with Baden. I'm hoping this time away that you're gonna see the awakened version of Chimera. 600 to 800 plus tickets for a hero with the Supreme RNG. Yeah, big RNG when it comes to the pulls. Now, I've pulled a lot of heroes that have been less than 500 time emblems. So I have pulled Brutus, I have pulled Solus, I have pulled Awakened Tailene. I pulled a lot of Awakened heroes with less than 500 Shadow, and I've done it time and time again. The only one that I had a nightmare was Thane. The Awakened version of Thane was and still is the most difficult hero that I've ever pulled in AFK Arena. I pulled the Awakened version of Thane on 3 separate accounts now. All of them, every single time, taking over 700 time emblems every time that I pulled Thane, which is absolutely insane. What's going on, Carol? Thanks for joining us for the late Saturday stream here. What furniture better upgrade for Tailene? I have extra pieces on her. I have charts on that. I don't know off the top of my head, but if you look at the original version of Tailene, if that's who you're talking about, Tailene is based on the shielding and the health. So when you look at the furniture within the inn, it is based on the health that she gets. So again, I'm not sure exactly which one it is, but you want to get the furniture that buffs up her health. The health is what produces the shield. A lot of players, when you're building out Taylene, it is not the attack of the original version of Taylene that does the damage. It is the health aspect and the shielding aspect. So again, you want to build these and you want to build them up not evenly. I know within the inn, that is how it builds them out. It does build them out evenly. You want to build specific furniture up to 3 of 3. So getting essentially all one piece or kind of 1-1-1 within the same room. You want to build out when you're strengthening the furniture, again, one specific room at a time and building it in its entirety, one specific room at a time, because there is a big impact when it comes to the original version of Taylene. What's going on, unnamed doggo? It severely affects campaign difficulty, so they made it clear they're doing it. You know why Lilith doesn't buff? So the thing, Arturo, when it comes to buffing or nerfing heroes, you have to think of everything within this game, guys, is a very, very well kind of regulated system. If you almost think about it that way, is if you're buffing different heroes, you're going to be affecting all kinds of different game modes, especially to where this is built at now. You're talking, you know, half a dozen different game modes that would be adjusting heroes. That is why when there is a hero, we throw them up on the test server. A lot of heroes like Sonya. Sonya, we seen a big buff over on the test server before she ever went to the live server. Same with Lucretia. Lucretia actually seen, or Sonya got nerfed. Sonya got nerfed coming out of the test server. Lucretia got buffed coming out of the test server to the amazing hero that she is now. Lucretia was underperforming damage-wise, survivability, things of that nature. They did a buff for her, works incredibly well. Again, Sonya got a nerf. Sonya was 100xing damage in formations. Fundamentally, she was broken, which is the reason why, again, they nerfed her. They've adjusted a lot of heroes through time, but it gets to the point where older heroes, either you're going to spend the time and effort to really build them out. If they're reworked, we quit probably about 1.5 years ago doing the reworks. There was reworks for a lot of different ones, but they don't adjust the heroes really at all anymore. And I don't think going into 2023, Atiro, that they're going to be adjusting any of the heroes that we currently have. I think there is not going to be there's not going to be any changes. 230 Mortis. Also the SI Twins Mortis. Oh, for the SI Twins, are you talking about not having mine built? Great day. Now, a lot of them, guys, the Twins, I've never got to a plus 30 signature item just out of sheer overlook, I guess, at this point. I haven't really built it out. Same with Mortis. Mortis can utilize a plus 30 signature item. Is this going to make a difference? Not really. It's not going to be a game changer. Again, even looking at best in slot, there's a lot of other heroes. If I'm sitting on a ton of red chests, absolutely. I went through so many red chests at this point, guys, that literally when a new hero drops, I don't even have enough red chests to build out the current ones I have. I think we're at, what, 162? So we still do use red chests for everything, guys. Literally just banking red chests, which we know pretty soon there's going to be another Awakened Hero. I think looking at when Belinda came out, we probably have another week or two, and we'll see another Awakened Hero. Does tier 4 gear make a difference compared to resonated tier 3? The two real big things, Channy, when you look at the tier 4 gear is the damage dealers. So with the damage dealers, tier 4 weapons get this, I don't think Brutus does, but most of them get physical pierce right here. That's what you want the tier 4. They get magical pierce or they get physical pierce. That is the reason why players build out the tier 4s. And then also the crowd control aspect. So boots contain tenacity. So this is the big thing, guys. The tenacity on the boots can mitigate the crowd control that you're getting with the tier 4 boots, which is why a lot of heroes that are PvP, like looking at Joan, tier 3, tier 3, tier 3, tier 4 boots, because again, I want the tenacity in here because I don't want Joan being crowd controlled within the PvP aspect or even other game modes. I don't want the tenacity, or I'm building up the tenacity because again, we don't want them crowd controlled, which is really the big one. Have you seen any players that have their heroes at level 1000 or higher? No, I believe right now Firework, I believe the cap is high 800s. I think it's high 800s. I'm not sure if Julian, a couple other players in here have them, and I wonder if anyone's actually been AFK. So we have goodbye at 2 days. We know 2 days is the one that we delete from our friends list. But again, let me see. I believe here's chapter 55, which is at level 890. I think that is the highest, is around 890, so almost 900. Just shy of 900, but right there, guys, Kilby Ross, which again, some of the biggest whales in the game. Chapter 55-5 right here. Big shout out. Yeah, level 890, guys, across the board, which is huge. 890 levels. I'm at what, 707? 707. So I mean, got 183 levels on me, which is insane. Absolutely insane. I got Kren to E60 as well. Yeah, Kren is big with the E60. The big thing with Kren, of course, that helps with his survivability. But Kren is the driving force, guys, when it comes to the Mauler Tower. He is in any formation, one of the formations if you're multiple teams. Kren is still used in a lot of this game. Kren is still the fanatical, very cool build. I really hope the next Awakened is not meta. I don't, I don't see it. I really don't see it. I see some players engrave the twins to 33 or 80. Do you know which is better? The big thing with the twins is a lot of players do 33 for the haste. The big thing with the engraving, even here, I think I'm at 30 with the twins. And I believe they're at 38. So I did build them to 38. Look at that, Drewski. But again, a majority of players just build the haste aspects. So there, I believe there's two of them right here. So we have haste right here. And then this middle node contains haste as well. So that's why. So you could do this top node to get the priority with the haste if you went to 33. Going to 38 just adds another 2.8% haste. Now we know that haste is the biggest stat still and has always been in AFK Arena, guys. Haste in this game is huge. It is absolutely vital to have haste. It is the biggest thing. I got to chapter 28 in the Wilder account, working on building Orin the Spear Boy. I underestimated. Yes, the tower is the reason I built him. So literally, Miyoki, the reason I built Orin was the tower. And big shout out to Trisha. I don't think Trisha's in the live stream, but she said, or he said, do not sleep on Orin. Orin is an absolute game changer when it comes to the tower. 100% agree, guys. The higher you build him out, which again, we're seeing him in a couple different aspects of AFK Arena, but the higher that he's built out, guys, crushes the tower. But unfortunately, similar to heroes like Kayleen, you're building out specific heroes just for literally the towers. That's really the only place that we're seeing a lot of these heroes built or a lot of these heroes being utilized is within the towers. So one person got in. I always do this, guys. I don't discriminate against anyone. So we got one new friend to the friends list, which it looks like Goddess of Death, I think it might have been, looking there. But again, we monitor this just like I've recommended for you guys forever, guys. Monitor your friends list. You have to make sure you're getting these companion points every single day. Don't miss out on them, guys. Absolutely, you do not want to miss out on those. Also working on Mishka's furniture. Yes, Mishka's furniture, super, super important, guys. Again, Mishka is probably one of the big priorities within AFK Arena. She works incredibly well. Incredibly well. And again, when you look at game modes, guys, used across a ton of game modes. That is the big thing, guys. Not only, utilized in the Wilder Tower, Also see her, depending on the formation, in the treasure scramble. We see her within formations in the campaign. We see her within formations in the curse realm. Utility wise, these are the heroes you want to focus on. These are the heroes that you want to that you really want to build. Didn't add me. That's why CS, we don't discriminate. It is first come, first serve, guys. Even when it comes to adding heroes, when it comes to lending out heroes, anything of that nature, it's first come, first serve in its entirety. Even over on all of my faction accounts, it is really first come, first serve for all of it. She works well with Nevi. Yes. So even with Mishka and Nevi, Nevi buffs the wolves. So Mishka has her little double wolves right here. Nevi will buff the wolves. And again, most of the summons in there with this plus 60 engraving, Nevi will buff the wolves in there, which again is pretty cool to think that they literally built Nevi for a bunch of those formations. Still kind of sad we didn't get Belinda, but I'm not going to put anything else in here, guys, as much as I would love to as the pay-to-win account. We're going to hold off. We're going to get those cards. I want to see. We're at 33 cards right now, and we're at 0 copies. We get 1 copy out of here every single day. Guild Store, I think we have, 18 days till this refreshes, which will give us, of course, 10 more cards out of there. And then I pick up the deluxe card in here to get 1 more card. So I actually get 2 time emblems every day. Only a matter of time, guys, before we do build them out. Finally made it to chapter 40 is free to play. 40-24. That is awesome, Q-Rack. That is a lot of progression. Is Edwin good? Yes. And again, I for the tower, Edwin is going to be a priority, guys. For the curse realm, again, knowing AFK Arena, knowing the builds, Edwin is going to be utilized within the curse realm. It's just a matter of time till he really finds his place. Some players have also started utilizing him within the treasure scramble. Because again, the 2 really big things with Edwin, number 1, ultimate ability. Allied heroes within the Dominion deal 35% more damage. So he's got a damage boost right there. And then, of course, down here, he has an energy regeneration, which is awesome. And then, of course, he has an immunity, which we need from a tank. But I believe one of these also give a defensive reduction. Maybe it's a signature item. I think one of these, that's the counterattack, Edwin's damage. Yeah, there's one in here. I thought he had a defensive reduction. Maybe it's just, yeah, right here. Reduces their defense rating by 30% for 5 seconds, which again, so you have a damage amplification, you have a defense reduction, and you have an energy regeneration. That's literally the ideal Greyborn hero that you want for a boss fight. Again, Edwin is going to be used in formations, guys, once we start seeing him, and especially because he is a common hero, meaning the 4 primary factions. Drop him in the Noble Tavern. You don't even really have to, drive it home to build him. Build him through here, build him up slowly. There's not a race to build him, but he is going to be a hero that you do want to build. And I did the same, Q-Rack. I actually just got Tamaris built up. So we got Tamaris with the 1 star. Again, I'm going to wait on the engraving because I want to see I'm doing a Belinda, which I have the engraving mats there. Out of the current event, I'm going to do the exact same. So out of the event, I'm going to go when we get here to our gift card, and I'm going to get engraving mats. So I'm actually going to be buying out nothing but elemental cores out of here, which I guess we can go ahead and do right now. That's 500 cores, guys. That is a lot of cores to get out of here. We continue to build these up, and again, we have a lot of heroes to build. Literally, as the heroes are coming out, we have a lot more to build. Belinda, again, we already have the elemental shards and cores completely ready to take her to the E60, which is awesome to see. And then we already have the plus 30 signature item on there. Already got the 3 of 9 furniture as well. We're definitely going to be builder out. I'm definitely happy to see that we're building out. I love that you do that. You always answer everyone's questions. Yeah, WSW. I'm not sure if you've been in the streams before, but I love being able to talk to you guys about AFK Arena. It is so cool. That is why I love doing the question and answer times that we do these. Being able to answer questions, being able to talk to you guys about a game that I absolutely love is such a cool thing. And again, I can't imagine even a time when I didn't do YouTube. But it's awesome. I love being able to sit down and talk to you guys. How do I tell what hero is good for PvP? What gives it away in their abilities in the portraits? The easiest way to tell the PvP heroes, guys, and it's really when you come here to the treasure scramble, literally just look at your leaderboard, go to, let's say right up here, even Barry, or any of these heroes, even looking here in the first one, we'll just follow whoever, there we go. Another Kilby Ross right there. Looking here, look at a win, look at any of these. Here's your PvP heroes, guys. That's really it. It works incredibly well. These are the PvP heroes. Even when you start getting into more formations, you can do the exact same thing with the LC tournament. A majority of the heroes that you see in here are the PvP. So when you go to the champion hall, it is the exact same, guys. And there's Barry again, the PvP heroes. Formations might be slightly different, but again, the PvP heroes, most of the big PvP heroes are the big heroes that we see in a bunch of different game modes. Have you ever seen? So I did Azo. I think Vulcan did. I think it was Mulan and Tamris. I think it was the floppy Mulan. I'm gonna have to try it out. I don't have Tamris built out enough yet. That's kind of the one thing. Why is this game chat so down bad? Not sure what you mean. Keep a lot of people, guys. The chat. I do not use this. Literally never. This is an area. If you ever message me, which I'm sure there's probably a lot of people that message me, I don't go in the chat because it's a nightmare. It is a literal nightmare in there. May we see? Yeah, my treasure scramble teams. So treasure scramble, 2% right now, 52%. I think it just reset. But the teams that I'm running in here, and look at that, 14% because she is not awakened. But I'm running this team. I just kind of set 57 right here. So again, this team, I'm not doing well at all. I was hoping to have that awakened version of Belinda, which would have just literally amplified this team. Thane doing well in there. The Brutus team, even looking there, guys, 28. But it is still early in the treasure scramble. Now remember, when you start in the treasure scramble, guys, every player is together. And then over time, they kind of segregate out. So even looking here at our leaderboard, looking at our rewards, we got some Stargazer cards, we got some red chests, some baits. So 2% I'm okay with, even 1% definitely might do a little bit more of an adjustment in formations just to get a little bit of a higher loot and getting some of those tier stones. But again, I usually stay around the top 1-2% every time that I'm going through here. Yeah, the public chat is just the Wild West, guys. That is really the way that I see it. It is literally the Wild West when it comes to the chat. Yeah, exactly. It's super. Any clue about the Dimensional Tower? So I'm hoping, and I tried to pry with Lilith, guys, if the Dimensional Tower, when the Dimensional Tower is coming. We have a couple things planned that are going to be coming up around the 4th anniversary. Not saying that the Dimensional Tower is coming there, but it definitely could be coming pretty soon, Alfredas. It would be interesting to see, which again, I know the 4th anniversary is coming up. Lilith usually makes it huge. They usually completely, and I think that's why it's so quiet right now in the game. If you've noticed, it seems like there is going to be a very big time, a very fun time that is coming for the 4th anniversary. Can you please give me a super strong team for the thrilling voyage that would go far? Brutus. Brutus is the one that you need for the thrilling voyage, Noisy. Even going through every stage in here, the awakened version of Brutus. Literally, I believe we ran Brutus through all of these. This is, I'm not sure exactly where that formation's from, but I believe a majority of these stages, and this might have been one of our weird off stages, I think maybe for the last one, but the awakened version of Brutus is what players are running in here like crazy. It is really the one. Again, if you go down to the guide section, they are there. I have guides for both. I have a couple different guides for a couple different ones for these game modes, all 5 of them. So the Crimson Snow, Lost in Riviera, and then of course all 3 of the hunting notes. We have all the guides down there in that guide section if you want to check them out. Where does Mulan fit? Hagar, her max. You have her max out. Mulan is actually showing up, I believe, in the Brutus team. I think, again, I thought I seen Mulan a little bit earlier in the Brutus team. Might not be in here yet. See, there's the Yennefer team. There's the Belinda team. Right there's Mulan. So Mulan is actually showing up right here. I wonder if they'll let us play it. So Mulan, again, has been showing up in teams within in this Treasure Scramble. Right there, right in the front row, guys. And again, she does the ride through. She does the ride through. Has a lot of crowd control when you put it in this formation. And of course, she's going to buff Thane, which again is very strong. Is Screg Invade used for the Mauler Tower? Yes, I still do use the Screg Invade. Definitely. Do you know when a new Thrilling Void after the Mind Mayhem will come out? I would probably say 2 more patches. So what they do with those Thrilling Voyages, guys, is they'll release one after the other one is concluded with the bonus loot. What I mean by that is right here. So limited time event is in progress. So we still have 8 days in this. So looking at this week, 8 more days, we could see one. Usually the patch notes are Thursdays. We could see a patch note coming up, which of course is going to include a new hero, or it could be the one after that, depending again where they really do build it out. What Mauler do you think will be next in Awaken? A lot of players are saying K-Sauce. I would like to see Satrana. I think Satrana would be really cool. Nimisu would be my number 1. This would be absolutely my number 1, would be Nimisu, guys. If they made, which essentially they should, make another support hero, since the only one we've seen was Solus. I would love to see Nimisu redone as a powerful support hero that can kind of run with Solus or run by Solus as a support hero. It'd be really cool to see Nimisu. Yeah, like I said, Unnamed Dog, I do use that invade comp. I use the invade comp in the Mauler Tower. Antandra, Honesta, even running the Awakened version of Brutus in there. What guild are we in? I'm in Adventure Walk. So Adventure Walk has been a guild that I've been with for a while now. Adventure Walk. So this, I mean, we're super, super active and everything. You can even see all of these little trophies kind of sitting around. Definitely, we're not as competitive in the Abyssal Expedition anymore, but over in the chat, over in Discord, absolutely all day long, guys. Chats, ideas, hints, tips, tricks, whatever it may be. A ton of stuff. I have Awakened Baden aside from Curse Realm PvP. Can he be used in the campaign? Yeah, he can be used in the campaign. We're also seeing him utilized within the Temple Rift. The Temple Rift, a lot of those are running Baden if you're running the Ranger teams in there. Yeah, that's what I feel is we need another support in there. Having some difficulties in the Faction Tower, Light and Celestial. The big thing is there's a lot of key heroes, Azo, that you need. So when we look at Celestial Tower, Infernal Fortress is easy because one is Lucretia by herself, and the second one is Charmazard. If you're running 2 teams at this point, but Lucretia will literally, if you're running 1 team, she will be the 1 team, period. Celestial Tower, a little bit different, guys, because you need damage. That is kind of what this faction lacks and has kind of been lacking. So when you look here, you have the Awakened version of Taylene, you have Audrey, you have Vithiel. They are really the only 3, and probably Athelia. You only have very limited heroes in here, and you also have 1, very limited builds because they're expensive to build out, but 2, the damage in here is very, very minimal. If you're missing one of these damage heroes within the Celestial Tower, you're not going to be able to make it. You're not going to be able to pull it. I have the exact same issue where survivability wise, I can get through the towers, but most of the time I do not do enough damage to make progression in the towers. So I fall short on damage, even looking here, running double damage together. A lot of times I can survive the entire time, but I can't take down the enemy team because I don't produce enough damage to get through, especially with this formation. I don't produce enough damage to get through Lucius's shield. Again, it absolutely sucks when you use him, but fighting him here is a nightmare when it comes to the builds on there. All right, guys, so before we're done, I'm going to go ahead. We're going to do our viewer giveaway like we do every single time. So I'm going to hop over. I'm going to load that up. Give me just a second. We do our giveaway. It's kind of a give back for the membership. So I do the gifting memberships every single time that we do these streams, and I love giving back these memberships because you get to see that little hippo next to your name. And let's see who it goes out to this time, guys. It should just take a moment to pop up. And there it is, guys, gifting the membership. And let's see who it goes out to this time. My main account, which was my first account I ever made, I stargazed for Shamira, and I totally regret it. It happens, and look at that. Miko, big shout out to Miko. There we go. You are gifted a membership, so you actually get that little hippo next to your name because you are an official member of the channel, which is very cool. Every couple months, that does change depending on how long you've been a member of the channel. So again, really, really cool to see. I once started Awaken Lucretia working on Halos. That's it. I mean, no regrets with the game. It's only a game. If you stargaze a little bit for Shamira, it is what it is. If you sit in here and watch, I'll see, you know, people stargazing for, there we go. So stargazing for Palmer. If you're pay to win, okay. But I see them in here for Almas. I see it in here for Brutus, the original version of Brutus. A lot of different heroes in here. And again, a lot of players play this game that don't know the ins and outs of it, summoning and looking for heroes that they love, which is really cool. What do you think the next power jump is going to be? Tier 5. Yes. So Tier 5, I believe, is going to be coming possibly with, again, with the 4th anniversary. Again, we're going to have to see exactly what is coming, but could see Tier 5 gear, could see some other advancements short of additional heroes. I know they're working on a couple different game modes as well, which is going to be really cool. We'll just have to see. Yeah, there we go. Let's use our Stargazer cards for a walker. But all right, guys, so that'll do it for today's live stream. Again, thank you guys for joining me for the late Saturday live stream. I absolutely love being able to do this with you guys. We're going to make a lot more progression. Going to finish out Belinda, see who is coming next. I know Dolly is already throwing up her sneak peek in here with who is coming next. A lot of players, of course, speculating that it's going to be a crossover is what some have said, but we just got Mulan. So I don't know. Legend has a divine bird once saved the world from a disaster, therefore earned the ultimate honor. And if you've seen, I believe there is a little snap or a little snippet of the Chinese servers that have kind of a comic book around it. I think there's a comic book around it, so we're going to have to see. Yes, Alfred does. I cannot stress that enough. I have been pushing the guild bosses, and I've been pushing for the revamp of the guild bosses for years at this point. Most of you know I play Eternal Evolution. There's a couple other games that I play that do incredibly well with guild bosses. That absolutely have phenomenal guild bosses within there. Bunch of different guild bosses, bunch of different levels. But I would absolutely want to see if they rework this guild bosses, guys, made it cumulative between your guild, things of that nature. I would love to see it. I would love to see that part of AFK Arena being revamped with these guild bosses. But again, guys, that'll do it for today's video. Always, if you have any questions, guys, hop over on Discord. The links are down below. Thank you guys for joining me, and have a great night, guys. And as always, thank you guys for watching.